Hey everybody, this is Jennifer Seven, and I'm here today on the Empower Hour Fem Power podcast, and excited to bring back to you my friend Cindy Bettino, who we are going to be talking about moving from fear to clarity. And I want to just share with you a little bit about Cindy. So, Cindy is an intuitive coach. She's an energy worker, a happiness expert. She helps individuals, couples, and executives create heart centered relationships and lives of no regret. And she is the founder of Transformational Healing. She blends neuroscience, positive psychology, and energy work to help clients break generational patterns, reclaim their joy, and thrive mentally, emotionally, and physically. So, hey, Cindy, so glad you're here.
Hey, Jennifer, thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Oh, you are so welcome. So, before we jump into our conversation today, I would love to start with your personal why for what got you into doing transformational healing work, especially with women in midlife.
Well, women in midlife are typically not the happiest people in the world, right? And as a happiness expert and a relationship expert, women are coming to me during midlife because they're confused, they're scared, they don't have the information that they want and they need. And they're going through this huge transition in their life and they don't know how to manage it. They don't know what path to take. They can't see the path. They're having issues that they've never had with their spouses. And if there's anything negative going on with their spouses prior to menopause, then they only it gets worse.
Yeah, like
So
exasperates it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so what got you into doing this work with women?
Oh, well, I grew up in an unhappy home, and in my early to mid 30s, I realized that I wasn't the happy spouse I wanted to be. I wasn't the happy parent I wanted to be. I wasn't the happy person I wanted to be. I was angry, I was depressed, and I realized that I wasn't given the tools because my parents weren't a happy couple. My parents weren't happy parents. And so I had to go out and find all the tools myself and really helping women in any kind of a transition. We have it, especially with women in midlife, right? We have so much going on. We are so overwhelmed. And we have so much on our plates, especially CEOs, leaders, entrepreneurs. Um, the statistics are not good. So I just really want to help women, and especially women in midlife, realize that they have options. Like they really do. And it helps that I went through it fairly recently. So, you have some firsthand experience and you can have more empathy
Yes.
toward what they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you hear a woman say, I just don't feel like myself, what do you think is really happening under the surface?
Oh God, well, they feel like their body has betrayed them.
Mm,
They feel like their mind is betraying them. They're wondering if they have early onset dementia or Alzheimer's. I mean, and there's really no information. Well, that's not correct. There's too much information out there, and most of it not very accurate, unfortunately. So I think there is a lot of fear that is sitting underneath the surface, and they do feel betrayed
mm.
by their body. Yeah,
Yeah. And
and by doctors and by lots of people. Yeah,
yeah, and a body that used to do more easily what you wanted it to do suddenly is like not cooperating. And I think a
absolutely.
lot of women, then what do? They power down, they try even harder, and then it's not working, it's not working. And so, yes, everything starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
So, fear, it can often show up as health, anxiety, decision paralysis, or shame. What do you see as the most common fear patterns in our midlife women?
Oh, fear that their husband will leave them for a
Mm,
younger woman.
okay, yeah.
Um, fear that is this it?
Is
you
this it?
know?
I remember saying that to myself. Is this it? And I
Is
think I
this
was only
it?
like 55. It was like, is this it? Is this the rest of my
Yeah.
life?
So I think they have a lot of that and a lot of fear around where do I get good information that can help me
Hmm.
right now? Yeah.
And is there help? I think too.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of women give up.
Yeah, or they just don't know that there are resources for
Yeah.
the
So they give
physical
up.
things. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so wanting our listeners to know that there is help and support and there are resources, and that's why we're doing this, because we want to share when you're feeling all of this, feeling the feels, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. There's things
Well,
happening to you.
what the beautiful thing about what you're doing and your peers are doing is we're finally talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never told. I mean, I, I was running networking groups and with for women, and no one ever talked about it, you know? So it's I'm really glad that we're talking about it now.
Yeah, having the conversation. I think if we look back on our lives as women, we get education in school about, well, you're going to have this thing called a period, and then this
Oh
is how
yeah.
you'll get pregnant. Remember the health classes? And we're always
Oh
like,
yeah.
ooh. And then the boys would have to go in one class, and the girls would the other class. And so we got some education there. I remember with my mother, uh, this is such a funny story, but she was not one to talk about personal things like that. And I saw this box in the trash and it said sanitary napkins. And I was like, what the heck is a sanitary napkin? So I remember asking her, like, Mom, what's a sanitary napkin? You know, like, and she gave me a book to read. Here, take this. And I was like, but that was the conversation. Yeah.
My what is it? My but wait is it? My body, my life. Like there's a book my mom gave me, and it was a women's book, and it was only like this thick,
Yeah, this was
right
like a
at the time.
pamphlet.
Yeah, but it's my body's by something anyway. And I got one for my daughter 15 years ago, and it's now like this thick.
Ah, well, that's good. You got more
Yeah,
than I got. And then there's that,
yeah.
what is that? Dear God, it's me, Margaret. That's another classic one about,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
read that
yeah.
one.
Well, okay. So then my point was that we get that education about that we're going to have this period, and then we later in life when we get pregnant, we get a lot of education about having a baby, and probably not so much about the postpartum piece.
No.
And then that's it. It's like, oh yeah, and then you're going to have menopause and hot flashes, and that's the rest of your life, and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
So now we've got to start that conversation because there's the perimenopause, and then menopause is
10
actually,
years. Yeah,
yeah, at least, yeah, it could be more,
yeah.
it could be a little shorter, but then menopause is actually that one moment in time. It's like that one day after 365 days of no period. That's
Mhm.
menopause, and then boom, it's postmenopause. So we could spend 20, 30 years in postmenopause and still have a lot of stuff going on that we don't even know. So to get back to our fear and clarity, I would love for you to share with us what's kind of the difference between our intuition and fear. Like, how do we know what is the which alarm is going off?
So intuition is a deep knowing, right? So it's and it's a knowing in your gut. But fear is like a punch in the gut. Like we have actual physical symptoms of fear. So you could feel like you have a softball in your throat, or you could actually feel like you have tightness, in your stomach. Your heart can start racing. I mean, it's the physical symptoms. Intuition doesn't typically have that kind. It's far more of a calm, deep knowing with your intuition. Yeah.
And when you're going through midlife and your hormones and your nervous system are already super sensitive, can we still get that calm intuition?
Oh yeah. We just have to be able to, check in with our bodies, right? So if this is fear, right? First, we're going to be irrational because it's our inner 5-year-old that is in that kind of fear, right? So second is we're going to be more emotional, but third, with our body, we're going to be feeling some kind of physical symptoms of that fear.
Versus? Intuition.
versus intuition, which is more of a knowing from your gut and from your brain, right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
I would guess that what we have to do is learn how to calm ourselves so that we can
Hmm.
access that intuition.
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, let's keep going on this topic because it's really interesting to me. So a lot of women, I believe, are carrying stories, menopause fear stories, like, well, now I'm broken. Now I'm too old. I waited too long. This is just how it is now. Like you mentioned, oh, I guess this is it. How do you help a woman like challenge that fear story without like forcing it on her? How do you get her thinking differently?
Well, education, right? So we are this machine that we have, right, is hardwired for certain things. So I think of the brain like the matrix. And our brains are hardwired to take in more negative than positive. And our brains are also hardwired to focus and obsess about the negative and
Hmm.
not the positive. So it's about retraining the brain to allow the brain to shift. Find yourself obsessing about this one negative thing, um, and shift it to something that is more positive. Like that's why we talk about gratitude journals and stuff like that. It's reminding the brain that there is positive, right? And our brain does it because it wants to keep us alive, right? So
Right,
the
right.
good things that are in our life and the good things that happen, that they aren't going to kill us. It's the potential negative things that happen. So you can't, once you understand that fear place is literally irrational coming from a 5 year inner 5 year old psychologically, it helps you shift where you are. Oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm in fear. What am I afraid of? Fear is real, but is it rational?
Hmm.
Is it valid? I mean, those become the questions, right? So if I'm obsessing about the negative, oh, this is how my brain is hardwired. Well, let me shift it by watching a Hallmark movie, um, putting on music and dancing around, going out into nature and enjoying nature, meditation, energy work, Reiki self healing. There's so many things that you can do that will help the nervous system shift and get us out of that negative headspace.
So it sounds like the first thing is you have to recognize that you're doing it, that you're in
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah,
I've had those. That's what are they? They're just the thoughts that just circle and circle and circle. Obsessive. You're just
yeah,
obsessing on something, and
right.
so you need that some kind of break to get you out of it. And I think one technique too is just become aware of your present surroundings and being in the
Mm,
moment. Just take
hmm.
a moment and go, okay, TV's there, books there, doors there, and just or get
Hmm.
up and just move around.
Right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but it sounds like you have a lot of great tools that you can help women with to get out
Hmm.
of that cycle. So when fear, let's say fear hits you at night or maybe during your afternoon crash, what, so I think we just touched on it, but like if it happens at night, what would be some good techniques to get yourself back to clarity if you're 3 in the morning and your mind's just like, "Bird, bird, bird."
I have some phrases, some affirmations that I use, like in this moment I am safe.
Mm.
In this moment I am not in pain. In this moment I am happy. In this moment, or I love my pillow. I
Oh,
love my
I love
sheets.
that.
I
Oh,
love
that's
my I
great. I
love my
love that.
mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just kind of bring it back, like you said, right? Bring it back to the present. There's the TV, there's the this, but it's like, yeah, oh, I love my pillow. Oh, I love my bamboo sheets because they keep me cool, right? Um, I might touch my husband like on the shoulder and just like, okay, he's here, I'm here, we're both alive.
We're
Okay,
safe. We're
we're
safe.
safe. In this moment, I am safe. In this
Yeah.
moment, I am not in pain. In this moment,
I'm
yeah,
okay. I'm
I'm
okay.
okay. I'm
Yeah, I love
okay.
that. And
Yeah.
I would think if it was hitting you in the afternoon because you're out of bed, maybe the gratitude journal would be a good place to go.
It absolutely would. It would be a good place to go. Going outside, taking a walk,
Hmm.
um, If you're angry, hit a punching bag. I mean, there are all kinds of ways that you can shift. Turn on the music and dance around the room. Turn on your favorite, songs, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And so they don't have to be complicated. Simple,
Mm-mm.
simple things.
Yeah, Spotify, right? You can have Spotify create a whole,
A playlist.
playlist, like a rah
Yeah.
rah, like,
Yeah. Yes. Like Katy
badass
Perry. Katy
woman.
Perry,
Yeah,
hear me roar.
yeah, yeah, your badass woman playlist, and
Yeah.
that's what you. Yeah,
Okay, I like that. So a lot of women, I think, because there's so much information out there, and I think a lot of it is just things trying to be sold to you because this is the hot topic now. Menopause, buy this, buy that, do this, do that. So a lot of women, I think they cope by over researching, over buying supplements, constantly changing their plans. So why do you think fear drives those behaviors, and what do you think would be a healthier replacement habit rather than getting on the internet and searching everything to death?
I think I think that's a really difficult question because we've been taught to research, we've been taught to use the tools that we have, we've been taught to like do something about it, right? Work, don't just work hard. Oh,
Hmm.
not enough, work harder. Right? So,
Exactly. Push yourself, push yourself.
and I think these are things that we've been told societally that have worked for us in other things and other ways in the past. And trying to get people to shift out of that mode is really difficult. I mean, I remember when I first started having like painful sex, and I was like, I went down the rabbit hole. 3 years, I was like deep diving into as much anything that said menopause, and
Hmm.
um, and that so I've been in the fitness industry for a time in my life, and um, it, it immediately reminded me of the diet industry and billions of dollar industry trying to sell you stuff to lose weight, get skinny. I mean, remember when ephedrine was like a thing?
Yep.
I mean, Chinese herbs, uh, um, what is it, speed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that
Phentermine. Yeah.
right? Yeah. I mean, all this stuff, and that is basically, and at one point, I finally just kind of gave up, and then I started talking to people. And once I found out that I wasn't the only one, there were some people that did have some answers, and just looking for something that wasn't a scam,
Hmm.
and asking um, important questions to my doctor, and that sometimes was even depressing. But
Right.
um, yeah, I think we're trying to change a habit that is really difficult to change because we've been taught. So
And
I
we
think,
want relief. We're looking for some kind of solution and relief. And where
yeah.
do we get it from? Yeah.
Well, now we have you,
Yeah.
and we have other people like you, right? That have more information than even our own doctors. Um, and this is how things change.
Yes. Well, and for our listeners, I did put together a menopause discernment guide, which is actually to help you sort through the noise out
Mhm.
there. And if you're considering supplements, it really helps walk you through what's your symptom, what are you looking for, and then what's the credibility of what you're looking for with some really good questions. So if you are going to go on that deep dive, this really helps walk you through it. So
Yeah, I mean that was the good thing being in the fitness industry for so long is I knew what supplements were good supplements and what supplements like GNC, like please don't buy your
yeah,
supplements from GNC and things.
right.
And knowing where and what that's it's super important because
Yeah,
there's so
and there's
much out
so much out there and so much garbage out there, and
there.
that's a whole
Hmm.
other podcast is just to talk supplements.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is a discernment guide that I'll put a link to it in the show
Oh,
notes. So
good.
if
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
anybody
yeah,
wants
yeah. That's
to take a look
awesome.
at that, yeah. So one of the techniques that I teach when I'm coaching is I talk about floors and I talk about handrails to help reduce overwhelm for women. So a floor being when you're building a house, you got to start with your floor. And then if you're going from one floor to the next, what's a handrail that will help you get there? So foundational floors are your sleep, your protein, your strength, your nervous system, and the handrail is like the bridge to help you get there. So Cindy, how would how would you help explain the connection between fear and the nervous system in a way that helps a woman stop blaming herself? I think there's a lot of blame that we feel like we're doing it to ourselves, or we should be able to fix ourselves, and we get really stressed
Again,
out.
I think this goes back to, yeah, to education and finding credible sources and resources for us. That's going to calm our nervous system more than anything. It's like to actually have something or have the possibility that something is going to work. Um, and I think breathing, just
Breathing.
stopping, pausing, breathing, and just, I'm smart. I'm going to figure this out. There are people out there. This is a new era for like God, like our poor mothers. Like they
Yeah.
didn't have any information,
Mm-mm.
right? It was like suck it up, buttercup. And I actually had a doctor basically say that to me. Suck it up, buttercup. This is just the way it is. And I'm like, that's not a good enough answer for me.
Yeah,
And for
pat
what
you on
I'm
the
paying
head,
for
send
you,
you home, say have a glass of wine. You feel
I
better.
mean, yeah, we're intelligent people, right? So, um, but it's people who are rallying, like the functional doctors and people like coaches like you and people who have actually done the deep dive into what menopause was. I had no idea there were 49
At
symptoms
least, at least. Yeah,
until
yeah, it's insane, really.
it really is insane. And we were taught growing up that that was just getting old.
Right.
That's nobody said
Joint
menopause. It was
pain,
just
you have
that's what
belly
happens when you
fat.
get old.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and too bad. Too bad for you. You had your younger days, and now the may go out and find a trophy wife because yeah. So a lot of guilt and shame, I think, built around it. And if our mothers had no information, which most of them didn't, I also think they were embarrassed. Nobody talked about things like
Oh
that
no,
back in
no,
the
no,
day.
no.
No, like my mother
Mhm.
giving me, she wouldn't even talk to me about it. It was like, here's my pamphlet. I was like, okay. Yeah. So at least our generation is able to hopefully have these conversations with our daughters. So boundaries, they're a huge part of midlife clarity. What is a good boundary? What is, or should I rephrase that? What's one boundary that you believe would immediately reduce some fear and overload for most women?
Learn how to say no.
Ah, yes.
Kindly, like kindly say no. Okay, so here we are. We don't have little kids anymore, but we might have grandchildren. We have aging parents. We have we work full time. Most of us, a lot of us, right, are working full time. And we still are responsible for 65% of the chores and duties of the home,
Mm-hmm.
grandchildren, children, grown children. I mean, it's crazy. So really learning how to say no. I had an anthropology professor at George Mason University, and she was talking about the difference between how men and women communicate, like with non-verbally communicate. And when you communicate with a man, like his face just stays like his
Mm-hmm.
head doesn't move, his eyes don't move. I mean, he's listening, right? But women, we're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
yeah, 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 I got you. I get it. I get it. So it's like basically we came out of the womb saying yes. Yeah. Oh, I'll help you. Oh, yeah. To take care of me first is selfish. Okay, yeah. And no, like, no is a full sentence. We can
yes.
say, I love you, but no, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was a personal trainer, I used to tell my clients, like, because I worked with a lot of leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and I said, block out time to work with me
Mm-hmm.
and put it under meeting or put it under doctor appointment. Because if people see you're going to the gym or you're taking care of yourself,
And it doesn't
like,
count. Yeah, it can be
then it doesn't
interrupted.
count. It can be interrupted, or it will be like, you're going to go to the gym, you're going to go work with your personal trainer. No, 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 this is more important. This is
Mm-hmm.
right. So we have to, I think that would be my biggest thing is that women have a really difficult time saying no. And again, that's societal,
Yes.
right? And it's societal that we still, do 65% of the work with the home and kids and grandkids and parents, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love it. No is a complete sentence. But if you have trouble saying no, it's okay to say, "Can I get back to you on that?" So you
well,
take
that's
yourself
the
off the
first
hot
thing.
seat. Yep.
Yeah, that's the first thing. There's always a pause, right? Let me get back to you in an hour. Let me
Yeah.
get back to you tomorrow, whatever. And then you kind of work through your process. Like your first
Hmm.
instinct is to, right? So we have instinctual, um, emotional, mental, and physical reactions. And sorry. And oh my goodness, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Um, and what we have to pause if we want to create any change in our life. The first thing that we have to do is pause, and then the second thing that we have to do is get curious,
Mm.
right? And so yeah, so the first step in saying no is let me get back to you.
So I think that is a great sentence that every midlife woman should practice this week. Let me get back to you. Let me
Let
get
me
back
get back to
to
you
you.
about that. Yeah,
Take
let
a
me get
breath,
back to you
take a
about that.
pause.
Yeah, no,
I gotta check
yeah,
things.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I like that one. When a woman tries to talk about menopause symptoms to her partner and her partner minimizes it, what do you think is a simple way to speak her truth without escalating the conflict?
um, they cannot see your symptoms. They cannot see inside your body. They cannot feel what you are feeling. And they're frustrated too. I mean, their parts might not be working as well as they used to, but they have a pill for that. We don't have a pill for that, right? And the truth is, the way that we were created as human beings is that by the time we hit menopause, they aren't fully functioning either, and we get actually a, a deeper connection with our partners, right? Because we want to stay intimate without necessarily being intimate
Hmm.
sometimes, right? So we have to find other ways to do that. And we do it through communication and connection and vulnerability. And um, so I think we have to have some empathy for them. And we have to understand that they can't see or feel what we feel. And I think starting a conversation with, I know you're frustrated, and I'm frustrated too. And I know you can't see or feel what's happening inside of me. And I am just as confused as you are half the time. And I just know this is how I feel right now. And I still love you. And I still want to be with you. And I don't want this season in our life to ruin the love that we have together. And I think
Hmm.
that would just be a good place to start.
Yeah, yeah, I like that a lot. That's very loving. It's very loving.
Hmm. Well, and the other thing is I get really graphic. So when
Yeah.
it comes to like painful sex, I'm like, you remember seeing that movie Seven, and that guy did a da 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 to this woman, and it was razor blades and blah blah blah. I said, that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of pain I'm talking about. And I can see my husband like twitching,
Like,
like, oh my
really?
God.
Right. Yeah, because they
Yeah.
don't know. And they, like you said, they are
Oh.
confused too. I think
Hmm.
that's, again, I'd love to do a whole podcast about that as well.
Yeah, and
So
there's a lot of things that we don't understand that we haven't been told about what happens to us when we don't have sex for a long time. Like, eh, yeah, I mean, there's I would love to,
biological things that are happening. Yeah.
yeah, and there are tools, right?
Hmm.
And there are things that we can do, and there are,
Yeah.
and people don't like to talk about sex, but we need to talk about sex.
Yes.
We,
Yeah. Let's like get out of the darkness and into the light so that we can look at these things and
hmm.
so women can be like, oh my God, did that happens to you too? Or I thought it was just me. And then being
I
embarrassed
know.
to bring it up or talk to the doctor about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Or if something works for somebody else, um, I mean, we won't even get into the whole estrogen thing and the hormone, replacement, that we won't even go there. But, if a woman can use estrogen cream and she's told like that is like the cat's meow, like that's the thing, that's the magic solution, and then it isn't,
Yeah.
it's really hard. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
we feel like
then
we've
what's
lost
next, right?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. We feel like we've lost something that we love,
And it's working
right?
for
Love to do.
everybody else, but it's
And
not
it's
working
working
for
for everybody
me.
else.
And why
Right.
not? And
Yeah.
I guess it's just me. I'm going to blame myself. I must be broken. That
And,
whole,
and my that doctor that I went to that told me to suck it up buttercup, she said that was the only thing that available to me
oh,
to help me.
yeah.
That was
So then
it.
you leave just totally defeated. Totally
Hmm.
defeated.
Hmm.
So, Cindy, if a woman is listening today and she's in full overwhelm, what would you say is the smallest fear to clarity plan she could do for the next 7 days? She's just like beyond.
Breathe. I
Breathe.
would just deep breaths, right? Just breathe, relax, come back to center, come back to the present. And in this moment, I am safe. In this moment, I'm not in pain. In this moment, right?
So
And
maybe
just,
taking 5 minutes a day
yes,
or more if
meditate.
you can.
Yeah, meditate. Go get some energy work. Go get a massage. Like, plan things for yourself. I came from riding my horse.
That's a joyful thing.
It's a very joyful thing, but it keeps me very poor. But I love him.
Yeah,
Because that gets me outside. I'm in the sun. I'm in nature. I'm communing with another
you're
being
getting
that I love.
exercise.
I'm exercising. Yeah, it fills all the checks for a happiness bomb.
Yeah,
So
I think letting women know is just if you can't do all those things, just that 5 minutes of breathing is a great
five
place
minutes
to
of
start.
breathing. Yes, just closing your eyes and meditating
Yeah. Okay.
for
So meditating, I think a lot of women get scared off on that because they're like, oh, I can't do it. I can't stop the thought. So I like the idea of breathing, just
breathing.
breathing with your eyes closed, breathe in,
But you can
count your
also,
breaths,
so Calm and lots of other
the apps.
places, yeah, the apps, they
Hmm.
have guided meditations.
Yeah. And they're all over
You don't have to
YouTube
be
as
silent.
well.
Yeah, you don't have to do silent meditation. Meditation, there really are no rules for meditation.
Yeah.
And people like to make lots of rules. But yeah, that's what I would definitely agree with
So
you
keep
there.
it simple, sweetie, right? Just keep it simple. I think just take one thing and practice it for 7 days and be like, okay, that was working. Maybe it was 5 minutes a day. Then maybe you go to 10 minutes a day. Then maybe you go to 15 minutes a day or
Or
5 minutes twice a day. It's just
or
whatever.
5 minutes a day.
Yeah,
5 minutes a day is better than no minutes a day.
exactly. Just
Again,
start
keep it simple.
and just develop a little routine because I think then your body begins to feel a little safer, begins to
Mm-hmm.
trust you. You're trusting yourself a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more, and
Mm-hmm.
things start to calm down. So, where can people find you, and what's the best first step if they want to go deeper with your work?
So cindybettino@gmail.com. And you put all my contact
I
information,
will.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. My website is Happiness Expert Coaching. Um, and yeah, they can reach out. You can find me on
Substack.
Substack. You can
Yeah.
find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. Yeah, I'm on all the socials, and I would love to. I would love to have conversations.
Yeah.
Everything with my work starts with what I call a welcoming session, where I'm finding out what the challenges are, finding out what their goals are, and then how I can help them.
Hmm. Right. And you do a lot of things. You can work with couples, you can work with individuals, you can do energy work remotely. So there's just a whole lot of stuff you
Yeah.
can do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
listeners, check out Cindy Bettino, especially on her Substack. It's awesome. And I thank everybody for being here. I hope this conversation helps. We will keep going every week with another topic to help our midlife ladies. So, Cindy, thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here with me today. All
Thank you.
right. Okay. So, bye.
See ya.